Houston Texans. Halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Right back to him on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Down, 30 base, 44. Yeah, let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball right here. Ready?
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down. Looking to throw. Dodge. Buying time to his left, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Here we go. This is Pittsburgh. We own it. We own it.
Throwing on first down. Hairston looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
First down, Indianapolis.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. From the gun, Hairston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A huge play that time for the Colts. 41 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hairston. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one. From the gun, Hairston. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Back to throw. Dodge. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Hairston, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Hairston, wide open receiver, complete. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Back to throw. Hairston, and he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Good job.
Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
The point after is good. And it's now 14-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. On first and 10, Hairston. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Texans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Dodge. Got a man, Slayton. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for the Texans. First down.
Ready. 94. I got you. Big dribble.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Off the play fake. Dodge. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dodge. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll try and throw for it here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And again this time to the tailback. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Colts pick it up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stack sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hairston. This one caught by Davis. That'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Alpha, you ready?
On third down, Dodge going up top. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Hairston. Dancing to his left. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
First down, 12.
Coming to you. 58 to Mike, 58.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Hairston. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trevor Williams there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Strip that ball. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike.
On 4th down, Hairston. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 42.
Ready. 44.
On 3rd and 2, Dodge. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
At the 32-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's our time. It's our time, guys.
Here's 2nd and 8. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun, Hairston. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And that's complete. It's Watson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a 1st down. inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Looking to throw. Hairston. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. From 4 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but now it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Bauer into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing to start the drive. Hairston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Off play action. Dodge. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. This quarterback now just 5 of 16 throwing the ball, but he's got a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Ready? AC game. You.
On first down, Dodge. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Woods with a pick. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Throwing on 1st down. Dodge. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He's brought down at the 28.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 1. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 9 now. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he coughed it up. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
Following the fumble recovery, Hairston looking long for Thomas. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Dodge. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Just nothing times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Speed trip.
Throwing again. Dodge. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. That one looks like he'll throw here. He gets it to Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check right. 51, Mike.
From the gun, Hairston. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners
who
had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
You ready?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.